Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Antonio Cromartie. In this episode, we focus on Antonio's NFL career, what he did with his first paycheck, the balancing act between money and family. Antonio also discusses the influence of social media on today's athlete and what he describes as the low point of his NFL career and how that led to a shift in mindset that helped lay the foundation for future success. We hope you enjoy part 2. Secure the Bag content is intended for collegiate athletes. Secure the Bag does not provide financial services, financial planning, investment, tax, legal, or sports agent advice or services. So, all right, so now you're going to the league. Mm-hmm. You're hearing where you could be slotted coming off an injury. I'm sure there was a little where will I go? Yeah. What was your thought in that process? And then back to what we're here for, right? The money part of it. What were you thinking about? What was all of that as your life is really about to change? So where were you thinking you were going to get drafted? Where did you get drafted in relation to that? And then what were you thinking about? Man, I'm about to be a millionaire.
Honestly, we did my draft grade. And I think I came in like a 5th round pick to a 7th round pick because I didn't play that year coming off of ACL. Nobody knew anything about me.
So your draft grade, they had you from round 5 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So my draft grade was around 5 to 7 because everyone was still just up in the air about me. They didn't know anything really too much about me. I started one game at Florida State. I played in 25 games at Florida State. So nobody really knew anything about me. So it was like people had to. This stories that I've heard from like John Jaworski and all those guys. Like they had to go back and go watch practice film of me when I finally got back to practice.
Yeah.
From my ACL surgery. So they was like, they had to do that and go back to my sophomore year when I actually played. So like just going through that and going through that process, being invited to the combine, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get invited to the combine because I didn't play.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. So now I get invited to the combine. So all thing I got to do is show them that I'm healthy. Show them that this guy is still there, but probably better, and see where it goes from there. Like my whole thing was like once I left the combine, I was like, all right, I'm going to the first round. That's just how I felt. Like I ran, I think I ran 4.41 or 4.45 at the combine, 6 or 7 months after surgery. So for me, it was just like, all right, cool. I know where I'm going. I had a 42-inch vertical, had 11-1 broad jump. I did all the DB drills. And I think that's what separated me from everybody was my DB drills.
So you had surgery what, July?
I had surgery July. The combine was February, so 7 months.
That's crazy.
7 months post-op. And then I was pissed off, so I ran again at my pro day. I weighed in at a combine, I think it's like 210. I was heavy, and came back from my pro day like a month later. Ended up weighing like 203, 204 from my pro day. But no, I had my boys who was still at Florida State that was on the track team. Got back, man. We was out till 12 o'clock at night at FAMU working on my starts. My boy, who's a track coach over at Florida State now, Ricky Argo. He was helping me, and my boy now, Jean Baptiste, who was ran track there too. When I tell you we was working on starts for 3 hours, like making sure my foot was on a straight line. I give a lot of credit to them because like they knew exactly what I needed. So it was just like, okay, cool. Next day, go to my pro day, ran 4.2. I think I ran 4.25 and 4.31, 4.32, something like that. So I was like, okay, now we good. I'm good to go. And during that time, when we got to the drills, I did receiver and DB drills because coaches wanted to see me as receivers too. And what's funny is, I'll tell you the funniest thing, man. I lead so we done with the workout, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm going first round. I was like, hey man, let's go get this new Cadillac Escalade truck, man.
No.
Let me tell you, man. I was like, look, I want the new Escalade truck. I want to be the first one in the city with it. I need to go get the truck today.
Oh, so this is after the combine.
Listen, this is after the pro day.
Oh, pro day. So after pro day, you were like,
hey, let's go to the dealership. I need to be the first person in Tallahassee to have a brand new body style of the Cadillac Escalade.
Oh man, I might have to edit that part out, Crow.
2 days later, I had it. Look, I was like, I'm gonna be a first round draft pick, man. How much the car? It's like $65,000. Okay, cool. I'll take that $65,000 hit. I was like, hey, at least I ain't going to go buy a dang on Lamborghini. I would have bought an Escalade.
Yeah.
When they used to be cheap.
All right. So I was going to ask you what you got with your first check, but hell, you didn't even wait till your first check.
Nah, I ain't wait till my first check. Hey, but I tell you this though, when I got my first check, well, I was hot. I'm gonna tell you how much my check was too. $880,522.23. That's how much my first check was. And you know, you go through, you're like, ooh, this thing nice. I'm like, damn, I got an $800,000 check. Hell yeah. Man, that shit was $500 and something thousand, man.
Oh,
hold on. Where my $330,000 go? And I ain't even seen it yet. I ain't even touched it. At least let me touch it first.
Before you take it from me. Yeah.
So it was just like understanding it, and like I was a person. I'm a numbers guy already as it is. So like for me, it was like understanding it. Man, like for somebody to know about money and still go through it and just still blow it, that was just like that was something I had to really grow up on.
Tell me, tell me a little bit about as you started to get that money. What were you doing with it? Right, when you were kind of blowing through it.
First, I bought my mama house in Tallahassee. Out of that $550K, but you gotta think out of that $550K, I had to owe I think $70,000 back to a financial advisor. So you take $70K that I had to pay back from that. I wasn't a jury guy, so you ain't have to worry about jury. I was more of a car guy, so I think I had 5 cars, man.
You told me one time that you had cars when you had free cars and that you could have been driving
and still was buying cars. Like I had 2 Dodge Chargers. I bought my mom a 5 Series. I bought myself a 5 Series. And then I had the Escalade. I had an old school. I had a 73 Chevy Caprice that I had put about $105,000 in. Then turn around, I got a free car. I had a free car from Cadillac, and I was still out here trying to go buy cars and do all this stuff, and I got a free car. It was just a point of just saying, okay, I got the money, so I'm just gonna buy it. Not knowing like, man, you don't know when them checks gonna start coming in. You don't get paid during the off season. You may get 1 check during the off season.
So tell me about the challenges that presents.
Well, first, the challenge is, this is what a lot of people fail to realize, is having the right people around you. That's the challenge. You don't need a yes man. You don't need somebody that's gonna be like, yeah, you can do this because you got this coming in. Nah. So okay, we got $7 million. Don't say we got 12, we got 7. You don't want nobody to say, yeah, man, you go buy your mama a $400,000 car. Man, your mama would have never asked for a $400,000 car. First off, your mom would have asked you, baby, you know what? Can I get this Honda Accord over here? You know good and well your mama don't need a car to draw. Why you want to draw attention to your mom to get her robbed? Because that's basically what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No matter. So you're gonna buy your mama a car, but she's still staying in the same place that she's been staying. Like, what sense does that make?
Yep. 100%.
Like for me, it was like I had yes men around me. Anything I want, I could say, hey, I need $80K cash.
No question.
Get it here. Never asked for what. Never once told me no. Like, oh, hey, you spending too much money. If you're doing this, then you're not gonna have no money. by the time you get to the final year of your contract.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have that. It was, hey, go ahead and do this. None of that. But the other thing, man, my family spent probably about my first year, probably about $500,000 on a credit card. You know, so it's just like, well, fuck, like y'all sitting here spending all my money, like, and y'all talking about. And I was a person. If I was gonna spend money, I'm gonna spend money. Like I'm gonna buy my cars, I'm gonna do this. But I was more so into cars, into clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had an apartment, you know, in San Diego. So it was for me. It was just like, okay, y'all spending more money than I am. Like family is your worst enemy when it comes to money. Even if you come from money, it's still the worst part of it, because I always felt like, you know, growing up a single parent home, you know, we moved 11 times, we moved 14 times. I went to 11 different schools. For me, it was just like, okay, this is all I know, right? So you feel like you owe somebody something, when in perspective, you don't owe anybody anything. That was their job. They had you. There was their responsibility. It's not your responsibility to take care of your parents. Like, it don't say in the Bible that it's your responsibility to take care of your parents. You know, when you meet somebody, you get married, and they don't say that your responsibility is still supposed to be your mama, your daddy, your grandma, and everybody else that's around. Like, that was your responsibility to help raise you.
Yeah.
And I ain't learned that really until my 4th year of marriage. Like, my marriage was getting torn apart because I was still trying to give money to my mom, them, and not everything else. But it's hurting my family, hurting my kids, not just my kids that's in my house, but also my kids that's outside of my house.
Yeah. So
I'm giving money to them, and I'm like, hey, I gotta try to find a way to give money to my kids, you know, for child support and everything else. So why am I still giving y'all money?
Yeah.
So it was just like, how else would y'all get it if I didn't have it? How else would you survive if I didn't have it?
You know, we talk about survivor's guilt,
mm-hmm.
and feeling like you're the one who made it out, and you don't want to separate yourself and seem like, hey, you're brand new. You're acting brand new.
Acting brand new. That was the thing that I always got when I used to tell people no. It's like, oh, you acting brand new because you didn't made it to the NFL, you didn't did this, and now you don't want to. They played that guilt role.
Yeah,
and that's what family will do. Family will play that guilt role until they get what you want, until they get what they want out you.
One thing, you know, we all know you're famous for is a lot of children. So how did that play into the first contract and the money that you were spending?
Honestly, let me see. For my kids, I didn't care about the money part. For my kids, I didn't. Man, my wife would tell you, no, I really don't care about money now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not who I am. It's not who, the money didn't make me who I am, you know, from that standpoint. My wife would tell you, I was like, all right, cool. I mean, we got this. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to do whatever we got to try to do. But the money is the part that didn't make me who I was today. It was, you know, but for me, it was just like when I had my kids, I probably about 1.3. Just like when I started having my kids, from lawyer fees to whatever, and it was in that first contract. It was probably like about 800. Like it was about 800,000 in that first, out of my first contract. You know, when I was dishing out, that's what lawyer fees, child support, and everything else. With my kids at that point in time. But it was just like, my thing was, I always try to do something where I just settled it out of court, but nobody wanted to do it because they wanted to have it on paper. I mean, I was like, shit, we can write it up and put it in front of a lawyer, let a judge sign off on it. Don't have to do child support, you know. And that's something that my first agent, he was like, Crow, you gotta, don't go in front of the judge. Like, don't put yourself and your business out. We can have a lawyer. You guys come to agreement about living expense, all this stuff. and you come to a lawyer. You get the lawyer to draw it up. You both sign it. She can go find her lawyer. You can pay for the lawyer fee, whatever that lawyer is gonna ask for him to look over or her to look over the paperwork. You can pay for it, and then you guys start it up. You don't want this stuff in courts. You just have the judge sign off on it that you guys have a contract, basically, and you gotta abide by the contract. So that's basically what it been. Tried to do that, man, numerous of times, man, and it was always this always a lawyer that come in. Oh no, you can get more. You can do that. You can get more than this.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this. We can make a lump sum, not knowing that whatever they're asking for was exactly what the judge gave them.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the point the lawyer was making money off of me.
Yeah.
And that was the drift of it. You know, It was just like you can have an agreement saying, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pay $3,500 a month. This we agreed to. Then a judge, a lawyer getting in the ear is like, well, you can probably get $7,500. He's making this much a year. He's doing this. He's doing this, this, and this. But my lifestyle wasn't extravagant.
Yeah.
So, like I remember I give you a particular case on one of my kids. Like the judge came in and mom was asking for like $10,000 a month. And the judge looked at her, was like, are you crazy? It's like, he has other kids, right? She's like, yeah. So why would I give you this amount of money when he has to take care of his other kids? Not only that, but she's like, well, his lifestyle is this, this, and this. It's like, well, he has one house and he has an apartment that he rents here. So what lifestyle does he really live? He has 4 cars, all paid off in cash.
Yeah.
What lifestyle is he living? He stays in an apartment here. Like he's $2,200 a month. Like you don't even stay here to be asking for $10,000 a month. And the judge came to us like, look, this is what we're gonna do. And this was crazy. This was presented to her. We're gonna give you $3,000 for child support, $500 for childcare. So basically $3,500. And I'm looking around like, man, this is what I offered. Like, why did you think that you was going to get $10,000 when there were 7 other kids out here?
Yeah.
And that I'm already paying support on already. So why would you even think that you were even phantom to get $10,000?
Yeah.
That's just the way it was, man. It's like you try to come to agreement and you get people in other people's ears and it never works. And that's the same thing with family too. It works the same way. Well, he signed a $12 million deal. Well, he said $13 million deal. Yeah, it's not $13 million though.
Yep.
He ain't $13 million.
And then you got that tug of war going on where it's like, I gotta say, and I'm sure it's just guilt and you one moment you feel strong, like, no, that's enough. And then another moment you feel bad and you go back and forth. And it's one of those things that the psychology of that to me doesn't get talked about enough.
No,
because
it's the mental health part of it. Like it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, you're from this area. You spend your whole life with these people. Now you're somewhere else. Now the pressure on you to perform is ramped up to a level that it's never been at, to stay where you are and to get to your next contract. And mentally, you got all these things playing in your head about family and what's going on back home and send money home and this and that. So I imagine it takes a massive toll on athletes, and I don't think it gets talked about enough.
No, it doesn't. And it's a standpoint of it's exhausting, especially when you're young, man. You 20, 21, 22 years old, you come into a whole bunch of money. And I believe now guys are starting to get more of an understanding of the financial literacy and understanding what's important. But you still got those guys that go buy $200,000 car for their mom and go buy $1 million house for their mom. Like, who in the hell needs $1 million house for their mom? And it's just her, your dad, and maybe your younger sibling who's about to be out of the house in 5 years.
So for you, the light bulb I know goes off for you, but when you look, what was the point where you were like, you know what, this has to change going forward?
After about mid-season 2010, after I got traded to the Jets, it was just nothing. There was nothing there, really, to be honest with you. So it was like, okay, I wouldn't even say, matter of fact, I wouldn't even say, yeah, I'll say mid-year to lockout, to about the end of the lockout, right before I signed my deal.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was my down point was, okay, end of the year, I'm getting a contract. I don't know what's going on. We got a lockout coming up. Lockout happens. Not only does the lockout happens, my agent passes away during this time. Struggling, marriage, not financially, just me being me.
Yeah.
That was my low point. Really didn't really have to do anything financially. It was just more so mental health for me. I was at a low point. I didn't care no more about anything. And I struggled with just trying to get myself back mentally a lot during that time. Would just walk out of the house, don't come back for 2 or 3 days, man. Nobody know where I'm at.
Wow.
It was just a point of just having that low point in my life, man. It was just like I lost somebody that I looked up to as a father figure. And losing him, man, it brought me all the way down, because he was somebody that I can talk to, and he always got me right where I needed to be. From a mental standpoint, understanding like, hey, the family is the most important thing in life. Like, he had 2 daughters, didn't have any sons, so all the men that he had in as his clients were basically like his sons.
Yeah.
So my all-season workouts was, man, we had breakfast together every single day.
Wow.
For 2 years straight. We had breakfast together every single day. And what's crazy, he passed away the same day as the lockout happened.
Oh man.
He passed away that morning. We had the lockout at 4:00 that afternoon.
So that was rough. You needed his guidance maybe in ways more than ever.
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Yeah. So it was just hard for me. And that for me, that was my lowest point, like, of my life, period.
What turned it around?
Honestly, it was just prayer, my wife praying, her fighting for us. And I had some true friends, man, like guys that tell me what's really going on, not sugarcoat nothing. From the helps of Dion, our pastor, even Dr. Tony Evans, that's here in Dallas. We had met him, and he was just like, anytime you want to mess up, you give me a call. He talking about me. And just the likes of them, like having that moral support of not just supporting you, but making sure that you're right mentally.
Yeah.
That's what helped. Like I say, man, he had a praying wife. He had a praying wife that cared about Antonio Cromartie, the person, not the Antonio Cromartie, the football player.
Yeah.
Listen, and it was just like, when you have that, like, for me, I didn't know what marriage was supposed to be like. Neither one of us did, you know. And you see marriage and you see people get divorced here and there, but like for my family, it was nobody really was married. My
Yeah.
dad, I mean, my dad been married 3 times now. So
Yeah.
you know, you never saw the stability in the family life. So for me, my best thing was if stuff go on, I'm just gonna get up and leave. And that's what I knew. You know,
Yeah.
that's all I knew was I'm gonna get up and leave. But you know, when you got somebody that, like my wife, that's gonna fight for you, that's gonna have your back 100%. And I didn't know. I just thought she was being against me. But
Yeah.
you know, when you look back on it, man, she was just fighting for me.
Yeah.
Just to show me that she truly loved me for just me. Like it wasn't about anything else but me. Didn't care about nothing else. She wanted the well-being of me to be where I needed to be, where I can take care of home and do things I need to try to do on the football field and everything else.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. And it's so important, you know, we talked about yes men to your friends holding you accountable and then your wife. And it's like I read a quote the other day that was like your friends will talk smack to your face, but true friends talk smack to your face and lift and talk good about you behind your back.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and that stuck with me because that's 100% true, man. The real ones will tell it to you when they have a problem with you or what you're doing to your face and lift you up behind your back. So that's amazing. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like your wife, that's amazing too. She wouldn't let you quit. She wouldn't let you quit on yourself or her or your family. So you turn around and then with financially, you start making better decisions. How did you figure out the family dynamic, all of that stuff? So did this all start to come together kind of at the same time?
It started coming together probably about 2012, really.
Okay.
After I signed my deal, not only me, but also my wife. I'm like, hey, like, look, yeah, you're signing the deal for this, but this is what we got to try to do. We got to try to put this much money away on this deal. Like, we got to try to put this much money away on this deal, you know, and we got to find other revenues where you're making money. It's like, because the more you can make money different ways, it won't stop your lifestyle or how you want to live.
That's a good feeling too, isn't it? Like
it was a good feeling because you never had it before.
Yeah.
And then once you start to sit down and you start to have those financial talks, it makes it a whole lot easier. I knew about finances. I know about it, but it was just like, I never really followed it. I never just, I had to have somebody tell me, no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is why you can't do this.
So I have two things. One thing that you said early on really sticks with me when we were talking about Florida State and the fact I couldn't help but think about the shift in what seems to be today's athlete in the sense that you had a plan to go 3 years, but you also had a love for the game where they had to pull you back from playing.
Yeah.
Right. They had to tell you, so here you are, you were about to go, you were mad about the ACC championship game, right? You're mad about the ACC championship. Today, that kid's gone. If that happens to the whoever, that same that today that kid's not showing up and he's entering the draft. But you were upset. The thing happens with your mom. You're down, but you're down at the Orange Bowl practicing, trying to fight to play and get on the field and risk it all to play. Tell me about that mentality and how you feel today's athletes changed in terms of that, and is it good thing, bad thing? How do you feel about that?
I would just say I feel like you only have a few of those guys still, but a lot of what dictates young football players today is social media. How many likes I get, how many followers do I have, and can I be an internet sensation if I make a great play?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't be like that. If you worried about someone liking a picture, or you have how many followers you have, that's a problem. And I say that because, like you said, your mentality is not to please anyone, right? You're fighting for everything you have because of your last name and who you're doing it for. Like, your last name is your resume in this league. And if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you are gone. They don't care what you've done last year. It's all about what can you do for me now. And same way with college. Yeah, I think every single year they're bringing 4 or 5 guys in at your position every single year. It's not like that in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They may draft one person, but colleges, they're going to get 2, 3 guys at a time every single year to replace you. The NFL, they may find one guy, they may find maybe 2 guys come in, but they're not here to replace you because you're the guy. College, they don't care about you being the guy. They don't come in that's a lot better than you.
Yeah.
But your mindset has to be, what am I playing for? Playing for the fame? I'm playing for the women? Am I playing for the money? Am I playing for my family? Am I playing for my kids? If you have kids, are you playing for the love of the game? Because the love of the game can only take you so far, because the business side of it going to take the love of the game out of it. So what are you really playing for?
Yeah.
What is your goal in this whole entire thing? Is it just to make the money, or is it to be a difference maker in all of it?
Awesome.
On the field and off the field.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. And the last thing that I'd say. So, what's next? What's next for Antonio Cromartie?
What's next is coaching, man.
Coaching.
All
right. So
I'm really trying to get into coaches. I want to coach. Honestly, I want to coach college football. I don't want to coach the NFL until I'm later on. I just feel there's so much unnecessary stuff that's not being said. There's stuff that's not being said to these young guys because they're so afraid of, oh, he's going to leave. If he leaves. But my thing is, if I can make an impact on one kid's life, 2 kids' life, whatever it may be, from talking finances, from talking spiritually, or just passing the game of life in the football game, that's all that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, as a coach, this is what I feel as a coach, we are going to spend more time with these kids than their parents will in at least 3 or 4 years of their life. So my job is to be the best father figure as possible to these kids, and also know that if something goes on with them, that my door is open always. My phone number is always been able to be called on, no matter if you leave the school and you just want to talk about whatever may be going on. Because that's the thing. We don't have a lot of relatable coaches in this business, because a lot of them are yes men, be honest with you. They don't have a say. But like, I'm not here to be nobody yes man. I'm here to be real as a coach, to be real as a person, and to hold myself and everyone else accountable around me to make sure that these kids be as successful as possible when they leave the school.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons I want to be a coach. It's about making everyone as successful around you, whether they play football in the next level or they don't. They're still a part of the alma mater. They're still a part of that program, no matter if you dislike the kid or not. The kid is there. You're gonna have a lot of love-hate relationships in that building, but at the end of the day, when that kid is all said and done, I guarantee he's gonna respect the mess out of you or anyone else that's in that building. And that's what it's about. It's the understanding of who you're dealing with and how to deal with them, because you can't treat everybody the same. Everybody got to coach differently. Everybody you got to talk to differently. Can't talk to everybody different. Some people react to certain trigger words, or some people react to certain things that you may say in a tone of voice.
Yeah.
You got to learn that. And these coaches don't take time to that. They don't care. They don't try to learn the kid because they know they can replace the kid quickly.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think you would be an incredible asset at the collegiate level, especially just the impact that you would have. And obviously I'm biased. We'd love you at love to see you on the sideline and Garnet and goal one day.
Oh man.
Maybe we make that happen, man. But that I think honestly that you would be a tremendous asset to any program.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, good luck with that, man. And we'll talk real soon, man. Thanks for joining me today.
Man, no problem.
Thanks for tuning in to the Secure the Bag podcast. This concludes our interview with Antonio Cromartie. Be sure to subscribe to our channel as we continue to change the narrative around athletes and money. If you want to know more about our program, please check out stbprogram.com, and you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Look us up at STB Program.